Hello and welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Kara Kirk, Program Manager of Children and Family here at Catholic Charities, and I'm going to hang out and chat with you. I guess I'll be doing most of the chatting. I have the wonderful pleasure of working with pregnant moms here in our community, and I love it. I love meeting moms, I love getting to see babies. And they hold a very special place in my heart, and I want to help in any way I can to make sure that they are happy and healthy and successful. And so we're going to talk about just one of the steps that's important today. First, we're going to take care of those lovely legal situations. So just a quick disclaimer. Catholic Charities and myself are not a medical provider giving you medical advice that is specific to your personal situation or otherwise. For this particular presentation, we collected information from governmental or official sources, primarily noodlesoup.com, CDC, FDA, March of Dimes, and womenshealth.gov. We have not independently verified and therefore cannot guarantee the accuracy of this information. We wanted to provide this information to you quickly, and therefore it can contain inaccuracies. Today I wanted to just have a quick overview of folic acid, what it is, how you can get it, and why it's important. First of all, folic acid is a B vitamin that is needed to help body grow and make new cells. Think about your skin, your hair. All of these are parts of bodies that create new cells on a daily basis. Making new red blood cells to aid in carrying oxygen throughout body. It supports the growth of a placenta, helps prevent birth defects, and helps prevent heart disease and stroke. Folate is the actual natural form of folic acid. Folic acid is actually a synthetic form of folate. However, folic acid is better absorbed by the body. Folate is tricky and has a absorption efficiency of only about 50%. So not that great. But that's why we have folic acid, and it's helpful and beneficial, and everyone can benefit, which leads me to everyone can benefit from taking folic acid. Men, women, even children. Men and women need about 400 micrograms of folic acid on the daily basis. And women who are currently pregnant or plan to get pregnant in the near future need about 600 micrograms. So, how do we go about getting those? We can see if, there we go. Multivitamins are usually have added folic acid. Just take a look and see if yours does. Prenatal vitamins usually do. And you can always just take folic acid by itself as a supplement. It's a really good idea to make taking folic acid a part of an already established habit, something that you're already doing. Are you taking other vitamins? Do you have other medication that you're taking? Take folic acid at the same time. When you brush your teeth, that's when you can take it. While you're waiting on that pot of coffee to brew, take your folic acid. There are foods that have this nutrient. It's actually the folate version. For instance, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, leafy green vegetables, avocados, peas, chickpeas, kidney beans, oranges, grapefruits, all of those kinds of things. But as we talked about before, it is the folate that only has an absorption rate of 50%. Also, many of these foods um, can lose the folate during the cooking and processing part. So if you boil broccoli or however you choose to cook it, or can lose that folate. So you would end up getting a very small percentage. Now, all of these are extremely beneficial and still healthy, and I still recommend that you eat them. Just don't count on them to get your folic acid daily dietary need. However, there are foods, we call them fortified foods, breads, pastas, cereals that have added nutrients. So look for those labels of fortified or enriched. Just as a quick side note, enriched is adding nutrients back into a product that was lost during the processing. Fortified is adding nutrients that were never present in that product. There are many cereals, breakfast cereals now, that one serving of the breakfast cereal is your folic acid need for the entire day. So again, look at those nutrition labels and eat smart. Folic acid deficiency, and I'm going to focus in on the pregnancy side of the deficiency risk, just because that's what I work with on a daily basis, and that's what this presentation is really for. So if during your pregnancy you are not getting enough folic acid on the daily basis, it can increase your risk for preterm delivery, meaning that baby arrives before baby was meant to arrive. Increased risk of low infant birth rate, um, increased risk of cleft palate, increased risk of miscarriage, and an increased risk of birth defects, especially the NTDs. So let's just talk about for a second the NTDs in particular. These are during the very beginning of pregnancy, usually like the 15th to 30th day after conception. So many, many times before mom even knows or is aware that she's pregnant, the neurotube is growing and forming inside of mom. If this does not fully develop or fully close properly, it can lead to defects in either, depending on the part of the tube that didn't form correctly, could affect the brain, could affect the skull, or could affect the spinal cord. And there's a couple different terminologies for which one is affected. Folic acid is very important in the growth of the neurotube and eventually into the baby's brain and spinal cord, as these are new cells, and folic acid is very important for building those new cells. So just as we kind of covered the benefits and some of the downsides of not, if you have a deficiency in folic acid, it's a very simple thing to add every day to your diet and to your day. Just add a small folic acid supplement, or look at the foods that you're eating and make sure that you focus in on that folic acid. As always, I want to point out that if you're going to make major changes in your diet or your vitamins or anything like that, please, please, please talk to your doctor first and how that would affect you and your body and your situation. And if you are pregnant, your precious, wonderful baby. Thank you so much for spending just a few minutes with me today, and have a very blessed day.